Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the best free cards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM on this tier list. Going to try to make this video not super long, but we got about 40 cards on the list to go through today, so should be a good list that hopefully gives y'all a good picture of my opinion on the very best free cards in my team. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. We'd really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know who your favorite free cards are in my team. Without further ado, it's gonna be a pretty fast-paced video. So Allen Houston, great, solid SIGs, really nice release. Pro 2 fade is nice offensively. He's a decent slasher, solid defender, good card, not insane. I think high B, low A seems solid, not a bad option at all. Honestly, Şengün, besides his release, is also a very, very good option. Power forward, he's got Jamal Murray behind the back, pretty good SIGs, very complete stats and badges for an Opal, super solid card, definitely B tier in my opinion. Amari Stoudemire, A tier, not going S, but at 6'10", versatility, near perfect SIGs, really, really nice option at the small forward or power forward position. I just wish his release was a little better. That would elevate the card. Andre Drummond can't shoot threes. That's an automatic no-go. He's D tier. If he could shoot, he'd actually be pretty good, but as is, he can't, and he is not good. Andrew Wiggins. He's worse than Allen Houston, but I don't think he's worse enough to go C tier. I like the card. He's 6'7", good defender. Doesn't have movable enforcer, but outside of that, he is a legitimately good defender. His release is solid. Good athlete. Not an incredible shot creator. He's probably low B, but I don't hate the card. Not a bad option. Honestly, I think Reeves at this point also goes B tier. The thing about Reeves is he's not a super strong defender, nor is he an elite level slasher. He is a very fun 3-hunter, one of the better 3-hunters in the game with one of the smoothest Pro 2 fades in the game, but I still think high B is probably fair at this point among the best of the best. Bill Russell's our first S tier free card. Really, really darn good card. He can shoot the ball at a high level with a very smooth release. He's one of the better defensive power forwards in the game. Moves quite well. Very, very good card. Can compete against the best of the best. The power forward position, I think S tier is totally fair. Buddy Hield is super mid, 6'4", good release, but outside of that, he doesn't do a ton. He's not super athletic, not an elite level defender. He's probably C. He's not quite D, but he's nothing special. Christian Laettner's got the catapult release going, which is definitely not a strength. I think he's one of the worst cards on this list. I'm not sure he's one of the very worst. There's a couple that I think are worse still to come, but is he in the bottom like 5 or 6? I think it's borderline. His stats and batters are pretty good, but the release is pretty catapulty. His movement isn't great. I think C tier is fair. Dan Issels was a 6'9" power forward. He's got solid stats and batters, decent release, but he's a little undersized. He's nothing special at the power forward position. Certainly SIGs aren't great. Needs some really good shooting badges added to be truly effective as well. I think C tier is probably fair for him as well. And then also another C tier is Danny Granger, who I just think is super mid. Not an elite defender, not an elite release, not an elite movement. Honestly, I think he sucks. I'm putting him D tier, and I don't even apologize about that. I think he's one of the worst, like 5 or 6 cards on this list probably. Not a big fan of Danny Granger. Going S tier for Eddie Jones, brand new free card, very, very good free card as well. 6'6" PG with very complete stats and badges, a nice release, all that type of stuff. I'm a big fan of Eddie Jones. Honestly, Elgin Baylor is really good as well. I think he's low A. He's 6'5", but he's got elite level defense, a great release, a super complete stats and badges, and actually moves pretty good too. Darn good token reward card, even at early 6'5". I think he's super solid. Gilbert Arenas is right there in S tier with Eddie Jones as well. One of the very best free cards in the game. Elite release, elite movement, and really just elite overall stats and badges. Has Hoff movable enforcer as well. He is the best short point guard in the game at only 6'4", but really, really good. Best card in the game is Glenn Rice, period, not just free cards. So he's obviously S tier. I don't even think I really need to waste my time on it. He's insanely complete stats and badges wise, 6'8", elite release. Everything pretty much perfect about Glenn Rice. I think he's the best card in the game. Obviously, he's S tier. Next is Harden. Harden's fine. He's just not great, especially the free Harden, which is the Pro Pass version. Doesn't have quite as good movement. Releases only on quick. C is fair. I think that's fair. Harden's not bad, but I think C is probably a fair spot. High C for him. James Worthy's a really good defender, and he's 6'9" with a very smooth release as well, so he's got size and versatility, and I like the card. I do. I think he's super solid. I think he does a lot of things well. I think probably low A, maybe high B. I don't know. Super solid card for sure, but not like next level insane or overpowered or anything like that at the small forward position, but I think it's fair to go low A. Honestly, Ja, as much as this surprises me, honestly, I think he's like one of the very best small PGs in the game as well. He's got perfect SIGs and a really good release, and that makes him legitimately good, among the best free cards in the game. Like, I think it's fair to put him A tier. I don't totally hate that. As crazy as that is, and honestly, that surprises me. I think he's really, really good despite his size, and his size is more, it's more usable this year. I think J Kidd's also super solid. I think he's honestly maybe a little better than Reeves at this point because of the defensive value he provides. He's 6'4", versatile, elite defender, Kyrie dribble style, nice fade, good release, pretty athletic. Really nice free card. He was dropped as a locker code. That is why he was free. I know he was originally a gambling only card, but he was dropped as a locker code available to everyone. So if you don't have him for free, that's your own fault. He's definitely considered a free card. I like Hondo. He's 6'5" at shooting guard, but he's got amazing SIGs outside of his same side Hezi and an incredible release. Super complete stats and badges, has the interior ability. I think he's better than Elgin Baylor. If I had to move one of these guys down from A tier, it's going to be Elgin. I like Mr. Hondo a lot. I like John Havlicek. He's only 6'1", though, and he's not an elite slasher. His release is nice. His movement is nice. He's about as good as a non-slashing 6'1" point guard is ever going to be in my team, but I think that still ends him up in C tier. He's not an A tier card or B tier card, in my personal opinion. K Love is 6'8" at power forward. That is his flaw because he is actually really solid. I think he's kind of similar to Dan Issel. Much better base stats and badges shooting-wise, but an okay defender, not super athletic. Undersized is really his biggest flaw, and I think that puts him in high C. Chris Middleton, mainly, I mean, he's an okay defender, but he has Tray Fade, which is probably the best thing about the card. His release is not amazing. His SIGs really aren't great either. It's mainly just that Tray Fade. That does help, but I don't think it helps enough to move him out of C tier, in my personal opinion. I really like Lauri Markkanen. I think he's high A, and honestly, I think he's dang near S. Like, I want to put him S, but I'm only getting like 6 or 7 guys in the S tier, and I'm not sure that Lauri is one of them. Lauri's right on that borderline to me, though. I think he definitely has at least an argument. And honestly, you know what? I'm putting him S tier. I think I'm going to go with like 7 or 8 guys in S tier, and I think Lauri cracks that list. He is really, really good, and I'm putting him S tier. LeBron is super solid mainly because it's LeBron. His defensive animations are phenomenal. His dunk animations are phenomenal. Is the card unbelievably insanely elite? At this point, not really. His animations could be a little better, but he's a 6'9", versatile, very capable defensive point guard. I like, or not point guard, small forward, who has really great slashing and is a capable shooter as well. I like the card. Manu's 6'5", undersized, not a great release. Nothing really great about the card at all, to be honest. I think D tier is totally fair for him. MPJ is honestly fine. He's 6'10" with a good release, which gives value at shooting guard. He's small forward. He shoots the ball at a high level. He's got a lot of size. Very athletic as well, which is nice. But he doesn't have great shot creation. His defense could be a little better. It gives a little to be desired. I think low B is also fair for him, similar to where LeBron is. Honestly, Marc Gasol is high A to me, but I don't think he quite cracks the S tier. He is a 6'11" big with very complete stats and badges who can put the ball on the floor okay. Really versatile defender. I like the card, but I don't know. I think he's a good card still. I think he's almost S tier, but I'm not going to put him S tier. I like Moses Malone too. He's 6'10". He needs some badges to really be his best, like the most complete that he can be. But if he's fully badged up, he's really fast at power forward. He's got good movement. I actually do like Moses Malone. I think he's low A or high B. Claxton's going to go mid B for me. He's a really solid 6'11" big who can shoot the ball at a high level and is a phenomenal defender. He gives you a lot of size, and I think he's actually a pretty good shooter as well. Doesn't give you much playmaking, but defensively is one of the better defensive bigs on this list, period, and I think B tier is fair. Parrish is in the same boat as Drummond. Would be nice if he could shoot, but he can't shoot at all. Obviously a D tier guy. Obviously, SGA is S tier regardless of it being the Pro Pass version or not. Even the non-Pro Pass version still has a good release. Still has very, very good SIGs because it's just the only change is MJ dribble style instead of Kyrie, which is not that big of a change. As a whole, I mean, SGA is still a phenomenal card, one of the very best in the game, and I think totally an S tier guy. I like Skiddy Moncrief. I think he's worse than J Kidd and slightly worse than Austin Reeves. Is he worse enough to go C tier? He's only 6'4". He's got gold removal enforcer. He's an okay slasher. Needs a lot of shooting badges. As a base card, he's C. If you haven't badged up a bit, I would probably put him B, but I'm going to leave him C at this point. I think that's probably fair. I'm going to go B for Steph. He's only 6'2", but he is complete stat and badge-wise. He's actually a decent slasher, and he's obviously an elite 3 hunter and a very good shooter. I think he's a pretty solid card, legitimately. I do think he's actually a pretty good card, and I think B tier is probably fair, legitimately. I think that's a pretty fair spot for him on this list. I think Steve Francis's release is horrific, and that kills this card. His SIGs are pretty good on his Opal compared to his other cards for sure, but I think it's really, really, really easily, I don't know. I think it's very, very easily D tier for Steve Francis personally because I just do not like his release. Going S tier for Terry D, and honestly he's the last S tier looking at these guys on this list. He's a 6'7" shooting guard, one of the very best shooting guards in the game. Does a ton of things really, really well, and just a super complete card who I think definitely does compete at a really, really high level at the small forward position. One of the better small forwards in the game for sure, and I think 100% deserving of being an S tier card. Tyrese Maxey's a 6'2" PG. Yes, he's athletic. Yes, his SIGs are okay. I just still feel like it's probably fair to put him on, I don't know, put him on D tier at this point because of his lack of size and his lack of total overall versatility at this point in the game. I'm not totally sure. That feels a little, I'm okay with that actually. I'm going to go World Be Free is B tier. I actually like the card. I don't love the card. Who would I move down? I think it's got to be Braun because of his normal animations. I'm going to go with, oh, but honestly, Nick Claxton has normal animation. But Nick Claxton's so good defensively as a big. I'm going with this, I think, because I think World B Free's B. I don't think he's A. Yes, he's got good SIGs. Yes, he's got a good release. He's a good slashing point guard, but he's not unbelievable defensively. He's only 6'3". I think B tier is fair. And then Zach Randolph's release is also horrific, and that puts him in the D tier as well, and he is the final card on this list. So this is every single really, really good free card in my team basically right now. If I forgot anybody, feel free to leave me a comment, and I'll let you know where I'd put those cards, so I apologize if that does happen. But in general, really do appreciate, number one, y'all watching this video, because I enjoy making these videos a lot. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.